All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Here's Brenda.
And I'm Shirley.
And we're back to our podcast, Channeling Joan. Today, this is the podcast, by the way, where Joan Rivers is a part of it. We never know to what extent. It's rather random, but we welcome her in whatever way she's willing to participate. We look forward to it.
Yes, we are.
It's always fun. So, Shirley, I thought we'd start today's podcast by talking about maybe some issues that are largely human issues, and that are just kind of interesting topics, and then hopefully we could take it to more of a spiritual meaning. The first subject that kind of is a buzz subject right now, it always is, but it is particularly now, and that is weight.
Oh boy, that's a touchy one.
That's a big one. First of all, well, you and I, we've always kind of gone up and down with our weight over the years.
Up 5, down 1.
It's always a struggle, it sees, for most people. But both of us have lost a few pounds recently.
Right.
And I don't know if you want to talk about, how you did.
Well, I'll talk a little bit about it. I was never really overweight, but I am type 1 diabetic. So my endocrinologist decided that I was overweight and gave me Ozempic. She said I would probably benefit from Ozempic. And I think I was maybe 10 to 15 pounds overweight. And she said, and it wasn't because of the weight itself. She said it was more to control your blood sugars, etc. So I did start it, and I did end up losing maybe 15 pounds. And very quick. I just had no desire for food anymore. Mm-hmm. I just, I would eat half of what I normally ate. And sure enough, the product worked. Ozempic.
But you didn't know.
But I didn't really know.
To lose weight.
I didn't know it was to lose weight.
Because
I thought it was basically to balance out blood sugars, which they have so many drugs out now. They had just a lot of different names that I've taken before that they said would a little extra besides insulin that would balance my blood sugars. So taking that, I did lose, but I did also lose a lot of muscle, and it was just so fast, and I didn't feel healthy. So I stopped taking that, and of course it's like an appetite suppressant. So as soon as you stop, you gain the little that you lost back. And it's kind of like a little yo-yo thing, I guess, and people, some people will go back on it. And people are always, always challenged with their weight, and will always, if there's something available, they'll try it. Right.
Yeah. I also lost a few pounds with not a whole lot of effort. I'm sure some of you have heard of intermittent fasting. And it's more of just, you're changing your behavior basically as to when you're eating. You go a period of 12 to 16 hours of not eating. And of course it's best to do that like at night. And then the other hours you can kind of eat. You can't eat whatever you want. That's kind of what people say, but that's not really true. But you can at first, and then after you start to drop a few pounds from this effortless way of losing, you do kind of consciously start being a little more mindful about what you're eating. I'm talking about my personal experience. I lost a few, and all I did was, just go a little bit longer without eating. And so I didn't want to gain it back, of course. And so I started, I wouldn't say that I really made too many modifications, but maybe I wasn't stuffing snacks in my mouth as much. I was a little bit more mindful about eating. So that worked for me. And I probably lost about 8 to 10 pounds just doing that. And I actually recommend it, because if your schedule works, it works. Maybe it depends on their metabolism. But anyway.
Don't coming through.
Okay.
Oh, I have a little comment to make.
Sure.
Yeah. Back in ancient Greece, or maybe Europe, what they used to do is they would go to the vomitorium.
The what?
The vomitorium, and they would gorge, they'd have these endless tables full of any kind of food you could think of, and they would. That's how they kept skinny. That's how they kept skinny.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
because that doesn't sound too different from what some people still do today.
Well, yeah,
but
that's true.
But they had actual places, huh?
They actually had a place. I wouldn't want to be around that place. I can imagine the smell of it. But yeah. They had.
That's interesting.
All sorts of different, and they still have all sorts of fads and methods, and it's always been an issue.
Yeah, right.
It's always been an issue.
Women have always wanted to be thin.
Well, they've always wanted to be thin because of men, because men wanted them to be thin. It didn't matter what the man looked like. He can have a great big huge stomach that looks like Buddha. And no offense to Buddha, because he's a very good man. He was a very good man. But I had a boyfriend who looked just like Buddha, and he would look at me and say, come here, let's play peekaboo. I had to go in there with a forklift and a magnifying glass. Yeah, I'd have to lift up the stomach and.
And what did you find when you lifted
Where are you? 2 matzo balls and an hemorrhoid. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You haven't missed a beat.
Yeah.
It's true. I can't deny that. I think that. That's for sure true historically, the way men and women have handled weight, right?
Yeah.
Men haven't had to worry about it too much.
Right. I do think that things have changed a little nowadays, is the way I see it on Earth. I've got a 360 view. Yeah. And I see that women are being okay with the weight they are.
Yes.
And men, I don't know if they like it or not. I can't really tell. I can't answer that.
I think maybe some men, not all, but some are becoming a little more conscious of their weight, probably because women ain't taking it anymore. They're tired of being svelte and then having that big stomach you're talking about.
Yeah,
in bed with them.
Well, it could be.
I think people are just maybe taking their own lives into their own hands, doing what they feel is best for them a little bit more. Both genders, I would say, are becoming a little more aware of things. But women especially are, you started to talk about sort of the body positivity. Women are having a little bit more of a positive image.
Yeah, I think they're secure with who they are. And, that makes that when weight is involved, it all goes hand in hand.
That's right. So now let's take it to the other side for a minute. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you don't have physical bodies there, so weight is no issue?
Weight is no issue because you choose what you want to look like, the weight you want to be, and how you want to present yourself. And that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, knowing that, do some people choose to be heavy?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if
they were comfortable.
Yes, if that's how they want their loved ones to perceive them, if they possibly could. That's how they would know them.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And now
or some people choose the best time they looked in their life. If they felt they were 30 years old and the best shape of their life, whether it be fat, skinny, whatever,
right.
That's how they will present themselves to their loved ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to choice.
Right.
And maybe now they can finally, maybe if they were heavy here, I'm just thinking, maybe they can finally just be heavy and not be judged for it.
Yeah. There's no judgment for weight. No.
Oh, nice.
Because they're happy. They're happy, even as far as food is concerned.
Yes.
You don't, there's food. There is food.
That was going to be my next question.
Okay, what was the next question?
If there's food over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is food over there, but the food over here or there, I'm getting where I am, it looks just like there. If I saw a plate of spaghetti with meatballs, it would look like a plate of spaghetti with meatballs. The difference is that I don't have a physical body. My body is light and energy, and if I go to consume this spaghetti and meatball dinner, it'll go right through me and right out of me. I don't have a stomach. I don't have any way of digesting it. And it'll just disappear. Wouldn't that be an earthly truth?
Yeah, how lovely. If I could just ask, what was your status with weight here?
Oh boy, well, I didn't eat much. I had to stay thin with the work I did. You know, it would kick me out. You know, if they would have given me a hard time. No, but I never was too much of a foodie. You know, I ate what I eat, and I always stayed thin. And until I got a little older, then I didn't care very much, and you know, everything started going south. You know, so I didn't have much of a choice there. But in my younger days, yes, I was very thin.
Yes, when you're in the public eye, especially back then.
Well, I was in the public eye too, you know, as an older adult. But I didn't care much. Yeah. I didn't care much what people thought.
Right.
You know, and that's how I survived, was eating what I wanted to eat and saying, you know, if I'm close to the end, I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, great. That's a good philosophy for here, I think. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Very things planned to talk about here. So, Joan, in the last show, you indicated that you kind of had, you were kind of talking about, you know, what you're doing over there, your life, and when I'm switching gears. And you said that you teach comedy classes.
Oh, yes, I do.
I mean, first of all, can you speak to, it seems that you have a lot of freedom over there, and I think you've kind of mentioned that already, but can you expand on that a little bit?
Freedom, yes. Well, we have free will. We have free will to do, well, at least for me. I can only speak for myself. I don't know how many of us have free will, or if we're allowed to. I mean, I know we are to some point, but in my case, I was a comedian on Earth. That is the job I love. That is the thing I love to do. So I continue being a comedian on the other side.
Right, right.
Now, I have classes, and I was granted a class to make people laugh and smile. You know, I can't say it's always wonderful, because most of my audience looks like they're dead half the time. You know, I got to hold up a sign and say laugh. But you know, there's ways of you know, there's ways of trying. I'm trying to teach them to laugh, and you know, sometimes I'll say a joke, and you know, once I spoke to the old brows, and I said, okay, it's time to leave now, and they all fell asleep in their seats. I don't know what happened. I just don't. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's just, so you never know what you're doing when you're teaching a class on the other side.
My goodness. Well, yeah, and I'm sure you're fighting comedy in that too, because you were one great person for laughing at everything.
Yes.
Laughing at all adversity. And
that's right. I certainly.
Now, well, let me ask you a little deeper question. Does God have a sense of humor, as far as you know?
Does God have a sense of humor? Yes. God has a sense of humor. And a matter of fact, when I died and we met face to face, he said, I don't know, I think you're going to have to go back. I don't think it's your time. And I just looked at him, and he said, you need to shape up before you ship out. Ooh. And I just looked at him, and my mouth dropped open, and he hesitated, and then he began to laugh. So, yes, God and I shared a moment.
Yes, that's lovely. That's a sense of humor, all right. He gave you a moment of pause and a moment of fear there for a second.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and then he let you off the hook.
I mean, I don't know how fearful I would have been if I had to come back, but, I would have done it all. I would have still continued my career.
Yeah,
But,
right.
that's okay.
You could say-
Now I have the best of two worlds.
Yeah, boy, you sure do. You sure do. I'm going to ask you kind of a personal question here. We've already talked about weight and whatnot, so this will go all the way. Is there sex on the other side?
Oh, is there sex? Well, the sex on the other side is completely different than the sex over here on this earth realm that I'm sitting in now. You've got all these men, they're like a bunch of bulls with a testosterone problem, and going, go, next cow, next, ever, next. You think those cows are saying, no, it was a bull. Yeah, no, they didn't like it very much, Now, when you get to the other side, everything is completely different as far as sex. Sex is a beautiful thing because you don't have sexual organs, number one. I mean, as we have here on this earth, everything is light. We're all filled with light and we just flow. We flow, kind of like, the medical sign you see with all the snakes going up and whatever up the chakras. Everything flows. And we're happy with it. We don't have to have actual physical things and all that stinky stuff. And I mean, it gets dull and dry after a while. Well, not that, but
That's what you meant. Keeping it real.
Yeah.
Keeping it real. Okay, so there's, excuse me. So are there any other ways that you might connect with one person and share an extra something special, or is that not existent to you?
Are you getting personal?
I am. Well, I just meant having observed it and
No. No, I mean,
Okay.
It's not important. I mean, I can't speak for the whole heavenly realm of and dimensions and everything. I could only speak to what I have experienced on this heavenly plane, the heavenly plane I'm in right now. I don't know what's going to happen, and maybe I'll be, who knows, maybe I'll be promoted to a higher level with all the good work that I'm doing. I don't know. I'm here, there, and everywhere. I'm doing a show. I'm still doing my comedy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I will be elevated to better and higher realms.
That's nice to know that can happen. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Anything else you want to share?
Let's see. What else can I share? I don't know. One more question? Yeah, I'm used to being interviewed here.
I know. You kind of got me.
Yeah.
Thinking about what we were already talking about. Going back to the weight thing. I know what kind of initiated that thought was, Oprah did a special.
Oh yeah. Well, she was. I think she's doing another one, as I understand, because I can't see everything.
Yeah.
And I know she has her own channel.
Yes.
And I think she has changed her way of looking at the way she... do you remember the time that she pulled a big wagon full of, I think it was 60 or more pounds of fat in a wagon, and, said that was all the weight she was, oh boy, that's a lot of weight. I mean, that shit was a little cow in itself. And I think she had I think there was a lot of conflict with that. And people were maybe very upset because, I mean, it's reality. You're looking at it. You're looking at all that fat. But I think that maybe she says that I think what she's going to say, I don't know, spoiler alert, that the ego, is what drives you to weight gain and this and that or weight loss, and you're always doing it for somebody else, but you're not doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that is the most important message. That I hope she comes out with that message in our next show.
Yes.
Because that will be very enlightening to people, and maybe they just can be themselves without having to prove themselves.
I'm actually a little surprised that she hasn't already come out with that message, because, weight, she was always associated with her weight,
Right.
So that would be a good message, especially with some women trying to have this acceptance of their body shape and maybe some few extra pounds, and not,
Right.
having a cow, no pun intended, over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But the one thing, I didn't see the whole show, I have to confess, but I saw little blurbs from it. And one of the things I got from it was that she was justifying the use of these injections as a way to lose weight. And her justification was that, I'm just wondering if you have any insight on this, was, that weight gain or being heavy is a state of mind that not a state of mind, that it's the brain that tells us to overeat, which I guess I agree with that to some extent, and that we kind of like we would have a drug for a mental illness or another kind of illness. She looked at it as illness, and Joy Behar on The View, I guess, commented on this and said, "No, it's not your brain; it's your mouth. You're just overeating." Well, what do you think?
I believe that it's a little of everything. It is a state of mind, and if you don't mind, it don't matter, right? That's the old saying, and that's true. And it's also could be an addiction. There's so many chemicals and things that we don't know that are in food and that make us want more, crave more, the salts and the sugars that are, who knows what's added into this or that. Of course, it could be an addiction too. So, and that all, it all ends up in our body and our system is the one that craves, and our mind, and, so it all goes hand in hand. I believe that it all is connected, and, there's no any which way to say it's right or wrong, or who's right and who's wrong. It's everyone's own personal journey, and I hope everyone can find the way out of torment if they're being tormented, or into happiness if that's how they feel they want to look and be.
Well, free choice. Free choice, free will. Okay. Well, thank you, Joan. I'm going to give Shirley an opportunity to discuss a little bit with me.
Here we go.
But you can stand by and you can chime in whenever. But yeah, we're going to discuss a little bit.
All right.
And
thank you.
Look forward to hearing from you
again.
again.
I'll be sitting over there.
Yes. Okay, don't go too far. All right. Thank you, Joan. Okay. Okay, Shirley. I just wanted to give you, the chance to weigh in.
Yes.
So let's go to weight. We were already talking about our own weight. And, did you see those were special?
No. Maybe years ago I did see it. I think I.
No, this one just came out.
No. I know it hasn't come out yet. I don't think.
No, it has.
It has.
It was on channel.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen it.
It was a special.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, I haven't seen it.
She had doctors come on and everything.
Oh. Well, I guess she probably did a lot of research.
Yeah.
Who knows whose research is right, wrong, where,
Right.
I can't weigh in on that because I didn't see it. Number one.
Right.
Yeah. Did you? You said?
No, I just saw little bits and pieces of it, but everybody's talking about it.
Okay.
And Joan kind of covered it all. It's up to the individual.
It is,
especially with more people being okay with how they look. And
that's so important because the life here is so short, and we'll be on the other side,
really before you
know it. Yeah, a blink of the eye, and you're there. So, and everything will change. Your whole perspective on anything you ever thought.
And you do have to consider that could be the thing that puts you on the other side, because there is a health.
That's true. I think as long as you're healthy and you're not eating now, if you aren't eating, pounds and pounds of fat, like she showed in that wagon, you can't think that that's healthy.
Right.
So Yeah, that's how.
Did you know that about what Joan said about that there could be a plate of food there and that you can eat it? Have you seen any evidence of that on the other side?
No, but they don't put a lot of emphasis on food.
Yeah, kind of like they don't.
Yeah, it's like they don't really talk about food and, yeah.
It's a nourishment.
The only time I ever,
consciousness.
me personally, have ever seen ghosts eating at the table was at the Disneyland haunted house.
That's true. Boy, they were going at it. Yeah. And well, actually, I think that wasn't even drinking it.
Yeah, exactly
what she said.
Yeah. So there's a lot of truth to that. That Walt Disney had a third eye.
I think he has definitely, which is forward thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought that was kind of cool because you can still enjoy the sensation of eating.
Right.
That is one of the joys of life.
Right.
And there's no consequences.
And I think it's memory of food. It's memory of what it tasted like, and it's still there. Just like she has memories of here and being a comedian and this and that. And so, I believe that's how it is. And she could weigh in if she wanted to.
That.
But
makes sense.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else did she talk about? Well,
I think that's probably it. I think we're at.
Yeah, well, I meant for us to discuss.
Yeah.
No, because she also talked about the male versus female, the way we look at weight and whatnot, and then she went into sex, and.
Well, and I think that it's the media, too, who projects these images, and, people that watch social media think they should, look like this and be like this and sing like this and talk like this. And, it's kind of a brainwashing world we live in. But, I think if we can think for ourselves, I think we'll be in a better place.
Good luck if you're really entrenched in social media, because what I would say to that, and I agree, is that it used to be just celebrities, who were in the public eye, who had to worry about their weight or how they look or how they dress, etc. And now with all of us on social media, we, some people feel, that they're of celebrity status now. It may be on a smaller scale, but each person has followers. They have people who watch them every day. So we're becoming more self-conscious, and everybody wants to be influencers, et cetera, which is cool to some extent. But we're all kind of in our own little mind living as celebrities.
That's
in our own mind.
Unless you're not on social media like me.
Yeah, I know.
I choose.
Shirley's not on social media.
I choose not to be. It just.
What made you choose not to be?
I think it's fake. I think people are not being their true, authentic selves. And I shouldn't say everyone. There's a lot of good shows out there, a lot of good YouTubes and things. But just some of the social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram or what's the other one? There's probably so many more. But I just choose not to engage in that because it's just... it just makes me angry, I guess, and I shouldn't be angry. So I said, maybe it's just not for me. Maybe it's for someone else, if it's not for me. I have nothing too bad to say about it, but it's not authentic to me.
Yeah. There are people that are on there for the right reasons.
Well, those are, kudos to them.
Yes. And then originally that was the reason for Facebook or whatever, was to connect with the people that look up old friends.
Right. But it always turns out to be disastrous or something. The people I know are lots of people.
It's human nature. We make it disastrous.
Right, and that's sad.
We start taking advantage of the platform and using it for our own egos and our own gratification.
Right.
Or putting somebody else down. Or
There's good and bad.
Sad. There's good and bad to it.
Sad.
Yeah.
And
I am on it, I have to admit. But I know how I use it, and I know how I try to keep it in some kind of positive perspective, not put too much of my own personal stuff out there. There's probably, out of the 180 friends, which is not all that many, considering, I probably regularly hear from 20 of them, so my thing is, 20 people are seeing my post and saying, oh, and then the other you
See,
know,
that's the problem.
150 or
Is you're
saying-
worried about the people that are not liking your post, and then you start feeling
No,
bad
yeah,
about
you
yourself,
could,
and
you
then
could.
you think someone's against you and someone's doing.
No, but
not
you
everyone.
might ask
but I'm saying
yourself-
some people.
you might
And it
ask
could-
yourself,
it could
what-
stir
why
up-
am I friends
It
with
stirs up different emotions. That yeah. See, that
Well,
stirs up an
I know
emotion
they saw
where-
it, you know, and
Yeah.
then they scrolled scrolled past it and said, "Fuck her."
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying that, you know,
Yeah.
you could come to that conclusion, but I don't care.
But I
about
think it's
it.
worry. I mean, I
I'm
think
still-
it's worry.
I'm not worried
and,
about it.
and then see, I think it makes you become too.
But I think young people
I think
are
it makes you
vulnerable.
become too egotistical because you're worried about the way you look to the world and who's responding to you in the way that you're not wanting them to
Right,
respond.
yeah,
So
it-
that's
it
it's not,
encourages you to
know.
live through your ego.
So it's
It does.
yeah. So that's that's why I chose not to. I don't want to live through my ego and rather just live day to day and be happy in my garden, planting or whatever, you know, or whatever else I do. You know, take a walk and enjoy nature. These are the things I like to do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I choose, and everyone has their own choice. So
and I do all those things too, by the way. So you do have to. It's anything in moderation. You know, if you could keep control on it, and
Yeah.
if you want to just poke in and see what your friends are doing, and you're not doing it maliciously or trying to pick something apart, or you know.
Yeah, but you're always going to find it, no matter what.
Well, but you might not be looking for
And then
it.
you have to
I don't know
respond
that everybody
appropriately.
does that. I don't know that everybody does that. Again, everybody is kind of has a different agenda, I would say, on social media. Some of it's good, some of it's sinister,
Right.
and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so that was a great show.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that Joan came in,
yeah.
Joan.
Thank you, Joan.
And I'll have to watch it back, but I'm not sure exactly what was said.
Yeah. That is
so-
amazing. You guys do realize that, right? That when Shirley is channeling Joan, she's
remember
not.
all.
Yeah. I mean, she's not doing the talking. She's just. Joan is meeting her consciousness, and your own consciousness is somewhat suppressed at that point.
Yes.
So she doesn't always remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good word.
So
Yes.
it's always fun to watch the show back.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All
I'm
right. Well,
excited.
until next time.
Okay.
We'll.
Yeah.
Joan, any last words?
Stop bickering.
Oh, she must have been watching us before the show. All right, Joan.
Okay. Joan. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for that.
Yes.
We'll take that
We
into
will.
consideration.
Joan's word is the gospel right now.
Okay.
Signing off.
Bye-bye.